So it's 10 a.m. You wake up, you go on your phone, Reels. It's an hour later. You're kind of hungry now. It's 11. You've been on your phone, you've done absolutely fucking nothing, and you go and you eat. And what do you do again? Reels. You stop for a second and you realize that you've been on Reels for the past 2 hours and it's now 12. Where did all your goals go? Weren't you gonna do this? Weren't you gonna go to the gym? Weren't you gonna research over this? So by the time you want to start that, you say it's too late. It's only 12. You could start, but you say it's too late. So back to more Reels and doing bullshit. You know, you may even touch your little wiener. Who knows? You know. Sorry. And then the day goes on, and all you've done is watch some fucking Reels, be on your bed, and you haven't done anything. That is how 90% of young men spend their days, and it's sad because I've done it too. And it's a cycle, and cycles are very hard to break out of once you start them. So, in this video, we're going to talk about why you lack motivation and how to start regaining that motivation. So before we start, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. Number 1, what do you want? What do you want in life? What do you want right now? What do you want your body to look like? What do you want in a girl? Number 2, why do you want that? Is there any reason, or is it just because you've seen someone else with it? And number 3, how badly do you want it? Now, it's very important that you're truthful with yourself, because you may say you want millions, but do you really want it that badly? Because if you wanted it that badly, you'd already be working towards it. So, having said this, we're going to discuss the main types of ways to get motivation from your situation. Because, for example, you could say, well, my motivation is that I'm dirt poor and, I want my parents to not suffer anymore and I want to be rich. But what if you're just average and you're not dirt poor? There is motivation found in every circumstance. Why? Because motivation doesn't come from anywhere else. It comes from within you. The first thing you should do is to embrace your situation. If you're poor, great. You have the motivation that you need to get out of that struggle, and you need to help your parents get out of that struggle also. If you're average, great. Be the first person in your bloodline that isn't average. Be the first person that goes above and beyond. If you're super rich, great. I don't know what you want to complete, what you want to achieve in life, but if it's money, who says because you're rich you can't continue being rich? How rich are your parents? Are they millionaires, billionaires? Why can't you get to the next level? So, motivation either comes from passion or from hate. Now I'll explain both. Passion, for example, let's say you want to be a professional basketball player. Since you were young, you've always loved basketball, and you've wanted to pursue it as a career. That's great. But you can also want to be in the Navy or become a fitness influencer from hate. Maybe you just hate how they used to call you fat or hate how they used to call you weak. There's no problem in that. We've all had hate for some certain thing. So there's always a way to find motivation. Now, I want you to decide where you want to go. This is very important because you could do all the hard work in the world, and if you don't have a goal that you want to get to, it's not going to mean jack shit. So decide, what do you want to do with your life? Who do you want to be? When your sons look at you, what do you want them to think? Do not confuse where you want to go with where someone else is. See, a lot of people, they'll look at these influencers like, Tate, fucking Iman Gadzhi, Jordan Welch, a bunch of, finance influencers or whatever, and they'll see the supercars, they'll see the houses, and they'll be like, yeah, I want that. Do you? There's some people that just want to have a good life with their family. There's some people that want to be able to work on the beach. There's some people that would hate working on the beach because it's super hot and the sun hits your screen. So don't follow a trend. Do what you actually like. Now, if you like supercars, great. You want to get rich to buy supercars. But don't think that just because you have money, you have to buy supercars. You can do so many things with it. And this extends to any other dream you have. If you want to be a basketball player, it doesn't mean you have to follow what every other player is doing. Just because you see every famous basketball player fuck every new OnlyFans model that comes out doesn't mean that you can't have a successful family and that you can't engage in that degenerate behavior. And the most important thing is to realize that you're 100% accountable for your life. And that may sound like a bad thing, like, oh fuck, why do I have to be accountable for everything? But in reality, it's the most beautiful thing that could ever be gifted to you by God. Because that means that you're in full control over your life. You decide what happens to it. Every time something bad happens to you, take the blame. It was your fault. You could have done something better. An example, my girl broke up with me. You could say, oh, she's just a stupid bitch. She was a hoe. She cheated on me. No, but why did she cheat on you? Because if you were the ideal man, she wouldn't have cheated on you, and you know that. Do the Drake test. If you were Drake, would she have cheated on you? Would she have left you on red? No. So it's all your fault. At the same time, if you get an A on a test, or if you lose 20 pounds, that's also your fault. Great job. Give yourself a pat on the back because you took the actions to get there. So the point is that if you don't want to do shit, that's great. No one's going to stop you, but don't blame anyone else for your laziness. Now, a lot of people hate on anger. They say you should never be angry. You should always be happy. I don't think anger is bad at all. What happens when you're angry? How do you feel? Do you feel pumped? Do you feel like you want to kill people? Okay, I cannot say that. Now, let's talk about anger. A lot of people will hate on anger. They'll be like, anger's bad for you. You shouldn't hold that in your heart. Anger is hate. Not always. Anger is actually good if you know how to control and channel it into things that you know you must do. You see, anger allows you to find a source of infinite motivation. Let's say your mom just died, which is an extreme situation. You might be angry at the world. Okay, the world doesn't really care. So what are you going to do with that anger? Are you just going to drown yourself in drugs or in alcohol? Or are you going to use that anger to achieve every single goal that your mom would have wanted you to achieve? See, anger can be taken in the good form, or you can use it for bad. So, now that you know how to achieve infinite motivation, go off into the sunset. Go off into the sunset and go pursue your goals. And if I ever hear you say you don't have enough motivation or you don't feel like it today, I'll